Okay, so now we're on our next question here, and I wanted to make sure I made this clear before I went through, because this question can be a bit tricky because there are a few extra parts to it. So this company gives you $1.25 for your first subscription, says it's going to pay you 25 cents more than what was paid for the previous subscription, and we want to know how much you're going to earn by selling 200 magazines. So this is asking us actually, what is the sum of the 200 magazines? And I think I may be able to bring up my writing here. So we're looking for a sum. And maybe I guess that's not going to work. So let's come over here. We're looking for a sum here. We're looking for a sum of 200. Okay, let's make that a little center. So I know that I'm selling 200 magazine subscriptions. I know that my first subscription is going to pay me $1.25. So 1.25. And again, please excuse my handwriting here. What I don't know is how much I'm going to earn for that 200th magazine subscription. So that's what I need to find out before I can fill in and do this actual sum. So I need to find A of 200. Well, to find A of 200, I know, again, my first subscription is $1.25. I'm earning 25 cents for each additional subscription, so that's going to be my common difference D. And then I would multiply that normally by n minus 1, but again, I know n is 200. So this is 200 minus 1. 200 minus 1 is 199. And so when I multiply that by the 0.25 and then add the 1.25, I am going to get 51. So for the 200th magazine subscription, we're going to get $51. Now I can go through and plug in, or I can go through and simplify the math, do the 51 plus the $1.25, and then I can multiply by 200 and then divide by 2. So 51 plus 1.25 is 52.25 times 200 is $10,450, and then divided by 2 is $5,225. That's quite a bit of money for selling magazine subscriptions. So let's check that. And that was the correct answer here. Now, as we're working through, it's okay if you make a mistake. Do make sure you look at the explanations. And I've even made a few mistakes when you're going through this. So let's see what else we had. This was the only question for this one. Again, if you wanted to try it again, you could do similar question. Let's see. Okay, that one is just a multiple choice. We can skip that one. This one is another one that's very similar to the magazines, because you have, it says 32 logs on the bottom layer, and each additional layer has 6 fewer logs. The top layer has 2 logs. We want to know how many total logs are in the pile. So you need to figure out how many layers there are. You can do that. You can actually draw a picture for this one because you're taking away 6 each time. So this might even be easier to just kind of reason through. Like this one, you'd have 32, and then if you take away 6, you get 26. So 32, 26, and then you'd get down to 20, and then to 14, and then to 8, and then to 2, and it says the top layer has 2 logs, so then you can add all those up. This one, I'm going to go through this one, even though it's pretty basic, just to kind of give you an understanding. So we have this. It says determine if the sequence is arithmetic, and if it is, find the common difference. Well, to go from -8 to -15, I'm subtracting 7, and then subtracting 7, and then subtracting 7. So since I'm subtracting the same thing each time, yes, it is arithmetic. And notice this is a final check. You don't get a second chance on this one, which isn't really a big deal, but that one was correct. And then it wants the common difference. So obviously there is a common difference because it was arithmetic. So my common difference is going to be -7 because I'm subtracting. If you're subtracting, it's going to be a negative. And that's all that one was asking. Let's see this one. Again, it's asking, is it arithmetic? Is there a common difference? This one, check and see if the sequence is arithmetic. If it is, find the common difference. Now notice here, 8 to 11 is only 3. And then 11 to 15 is 4. And then 15 to 8 is 3. And then 18 to 22 is 4. Since it's bouncing back and forth, this is not arithmetic. And since it's not arithmetic, there's nothing else that we need to do. Again, this is another one of those types of questions. Is it arithmetic? Write a recursive formula. The recursive, instead of doing as the piecewise, they just split up. This would be the bottom layer and this would be the top layer. 5 is your first term, so that's what A1 should equal. -4 is your common difference, so you have to have your common difference in the problem. Again, that one has the -4. And we want to find the AN term based on the AN minus 1 term, although this really should be a subscript, but that's all this one is really asking you to do. So that would be that one. Okay, so again, that's another similar question. With the Math Excels, and this one's just asking you to find the second term. With the Math Excels, I am looking for completion. You should try to do the questions, but as long as you spend a decent amount of time on it, even if you don't get too great of a score, you will still get your completion grade. I'm just giving this in place of a worksheet so that you don't have to worry about turning something physically in or digitally in. I can go through and see that you've completed this. Make sure when you have finished, like I'm going to click review progress here. Notice it does tell me which questions I have answered and which questions I have not answered. If you answer them all, it will say 100% complete, but that's not necessarily your score. But you would go down to the bottom and you'd click submit my work. Don't click submit my work until you have answered all of the questions, just as a friendly piece of advice. So I hope this was useful. Again, I'm looking for an effort grade on this. So give it your best and contact me if you have any more questions.